I'm not sure what to say about it. This is all just very overwhelming. I can't seem to turn it off either. Is there a checker here somewhere? Or maybe I just needed to see that. No, I must have missed something. The lever on the back doesn't work anymore. I don't think they would have a checker over here because it's just such a mess of items. And yet I'm looking anyway. It could just be on the floor, I'm just not seeing it. I don't see anything. I wouldn't have been too surprised if it was in here somewhere. But there's not a lot of room to put it. The other ones weren't very hard to find. They just kind of popped up right away. Unless they're being especially cheeky and they're putting them in places I've already looked. I don't think so, though. Maybe I missed one in here? It's kind of dark, so it's like not super easy to find them anyway. It's not like there's lights I can turn on. I think I looked in these drawers already. I would have figured there was one in here, but like not. Pretty sure there's not. The obvious symbolism puts one in there. Can't interact with the key on the back of that. Really making me pick through everything with a fine-tooth comb. Not on the floor. Where do you want me to go? If I just had to, like, click a bunch on this table, that would be pretty silly. It's gotta be here. Oh! It's like bugged or something. Alright, well now it's there. What are we looking at now? This is a pretty sinister scene, huh? Oh. Did I do the thing? Ah. There's stairs now. Stairs to the bathroom behind them. We're still looking for checkers, or are we done with that part? Yeah, oh, there's one. Much easier to find there. And one more. Whoa! Every time I turn, something changes drastically. Who are you even playing with? Apparently nobody. It feels like time is speeding up and slowing down as I walk to different places. What am I freaking looking at here? I can't even tell. I don't know if lighting those candles was useful or not, but I did it. Ah, the kitchen is now here. Let's find some kitchen checkers. Oh, you're boiling the house. It's just inappropriate. I got a bottle of something. I don't know what that was. I don't know. Like, wouldn't you think if this guy was... Oh. If this... Oh, never mind. I just had a whole stupid idea that made no sense. I was going to say that he scooped his own eye out, and then I remembered it's his wife's. 042 is the number for today. Time for you to choose a side. Okay, 042, let's choose a side. There's supposed to be a checker in here? That was like baby hands. Cauliflower that looks like a brain. Oh, there's a checker. Oh. Oh, it's 21 grams? Alright. I guess I needed a second one. Wonder what would have happened if I tried to take that without having the weight. What's going on over there? I kind of walked around all of this already. But it would have to be here. Unless it's just floating in midair. What is that? It's, Hey, hey! It's actually a piece floating in the air. You see that? Why is this happening? Please touch the ground. I don't seem to be able to click on it, so I have to hope that it's not the one I need to pick up. But it seemed to be stuck in hover mode. It's gonna touch the ground. Alright, it's gotta not be the right one then. Oh, it's the wrong color. I thought it was just in shade. Alright, just... I clicked on something, made a jingly sound. I don't know. What if I picked it up? No. Oh, there's another one floating right there. Oh. Apparently I hadn't come this way. This is getting very difficult to understand what's going on. Oh. Piano's popping off. Oh, it sounds like that one fight song from Castlevania Aria of Sorrow. Last checker. Whoa. Okay, I decide to not light the bonfire. I walk away. Apparently that is not allowed. I used to hate you, not anymore. I think even now, in spite of everything... Oh, is this her suicide note? I still might love you. You see, I finally understand. I know how you must feel lost alone. It took me a while, but I finally realized even with us, you have always been alone. I recognize that now as the quintessential part of your being. But even for you, there's still a way to bring it all back, the one precious thing you ever truly desired. Finish it, if only for yourself. Oh, that's super sad.
Yes, that's it, my love. I am so sorry. No, it's a lie. It's always been a lie. It won't bring them back. I see it now. I know what must be done.
We never got to go through the chain door. Oof. That was pretty hardcore. So he just kind of came out of it at the end after he finished his masterwork of her and immediately burned it and himself. I feel like for all the work they went through establishing that tension and that sort of sincerity early on, it just went so, like, hardcore horror after that. And then by the end, I mean, you kind of understood the breadth of, like, how malicious he was, which made the parts where he was more clear about what was going on a little bit less impactful. And then he just burns it all. So it's like everything was self-terminating, everything was completely destructive. The whole process from beginning to end was destructive. His impulse that drove him to lose his mind in the first place is what drove him to end himself. I mean, it's like you could kind of cut out all the middle stuff and just go directly to him just burning himself instead of going through all that and causing all that suffering, destroying his family and severing ties with everyone he cares about just to end it. Like, I don't know that he needed to go through all that. But I guess he had to work through his artistic block to realize that at the end of it he didn't have anything anymore anyway. Oh, there's another ending, huh? I didn't really get a lot of ideas that there was an option about anything there. If you miss some items, you get the loop ending, and if you find everything, you get this ending. Oh. Wait, so the ending I got was more of a completionist ending than the other ending, which was better? Don't look back, it says. It's like it's telling me not to try and get another ending. The ending is him realizing that no matter how many times he recreates his wife, she will never come back. So he just kills himself. From a metaphorical perspective, I think we can see the ending as the acceptance of his own evil and the willingness to damn himself to fire. I also feel it's important to note that his wife suffered a serious burn, something he forced on himself. That's right, yeah. The other ending is more obvious in explaining for you when you miss story parts. Oh. Well, I didn't find the story was really that hard to follow, aside from just that one moment I had of being silly about it. If anything, I think maybe a little more subtlety at moments. But then again, you risk running the issue where it's like a lot of people just don't pay much attention at all, and then they miss a bunch of it. Huh. So are we to believe that, like, maybe Child Protective Services took the child away, or did the child somehow die also? Because they didn't really make that very clear, as far as I can tell. I'm just trying to think of my overall impressions now. You know, I really did myself a disservice by playing the early access version, because the pacing and the set pieces were so much closer together in that version, since it felt like they kind of diluted it a little bit for the retail version. In my opinion, anyway, it felt like we were spending a lot more time kind of just treading water without significant moments of revelation. And I guess because I formulated so much of the story based on what I had seen in the early access version, a lot of the stuff I'd seen here was less impactful. And we got through like 3/4 of the story arc in the other version too, so I guess I was a little let down by this version comparatively. I don't think it's a bad game or anything, and don't get me wrong, I still think this is head and shoulders above a lot of horror games. But the pacing of it just felt a bit off. I felt by the end of this that it was dragging a bit, and that I had already sort of seen everything I needed to see, and I just wanted to sort of revel in the visuals of it, but then they kept not giving me more of that. I mean, there were a few moments, but it was, for every one cool moment was like 10 moments of, here's another dark hallway full of clutter. Now open all these drawers and not find anything. And then get stuck in a room for a few moments until you realize you had to just walk out the door you came in. So, I don't know. I guess, again, I really just shouldn't have played the other version, but I think for some reason, the pacing of the other version just, it felt so much more on to me. Like, if they just would have added the last couple bits with the way the game was structured, I think I would have been a bit more satisfied somehow. I don't know if you found the newspaper clip when you played it, but it said something about her being taken away from the father and how he tried to kidnap her back. Yeah. I think the game is far from perfect, but I think it's an exceptional example of horror. And I feel like they added in a little bit more, and I know this is me stretching it a bit, because compared to a lot of games, it's pretty minor, but I felt like they added in a little bit more to try to appeal to a mass audience. And it ended up making the game less scary and a bit more obvious. I kind of like that there didn't seem to be any death conditions prior to this, and now there's, well, a bunch of sequences where you can look at a woman that kills you immediately. Or, well, I don't know what kills you exactly means in this, because you just kind of pass out and then wake up and everything's gray. But I don't really find getting grabbed by someone and having the screen shake and colors happen, that's not really that scary. It's just sort of obvious at this point. It's what you expect to happen when you see something like that. So yeah, I'm a little conflicted. When I had played the early access version, I felt like this was headed for like a 9.5 out of 10, and now that I've played the final version, I feel like we're sitting at like a 7.5, 8 out of 10 or something like that, which is still a very respectable score. I don't know if I would consider a death sequence when it continues the game. Well, a couple of them actually just put me a room back. But I think a lot of that is tough to see what's going on when it's all happening, kind of fragmented like that. What would I consider scary? I really like when they build atmosphere and they build tension. And like I had said in the prior playthrough that I did of this, in order to juxtapose the dark, you need a little bit of the light. And we got so down the rabbit hole of everything being just completely off the rails that I think you forget humanity a little bit. And by the end, we were scooping out her eye, and like, I don't know, it went a little over the top for me, and I think it was perhaps a bit better received when we hit the moment of it being a little bit more of a human story about someone who's completely lost their path. And even if it went into total insanity, if you can remember a little bit about what made life great, it makes you feel the hit of how hard it hurts to realize how far you've gone off that path later. And I think we went completely away from that towards the end of this. I mean, your character at one point, he just kind of becomes just a monster, like straight up a monster. And I get the appeal to that. Like, you want to create sometimes the blackest of the black of a story, right? I know why people do it, but I don't think it's as relatable as it could be. And since it becomes less relatable, and I'm not saying that, you know, killing people and taking parts of them off is a relatable thing. I'm talking about the emotional connection that he has to his family. You start to lose sight of what it means for him to even have been a human being before he became that monster. You know what I mean? Right, and the ending is a bit jarring as well, because it just happened so quickly all of a sudden. We kept walking and walking and walking, and we were getting closer and closer and closer, and they telegraphed how the end is supposed to feel for each moment when you get a new part to your masterpiece. And then it just kind of goes somewhere else for a while, and you look for checkers in the dark, and you can't really see what's going on, and then the game just ends. I don't know. Anyway, that's my my assessment of Layers of Fear. I still recommend it if you're a fan of this type of game. Absolutely, go get it. There'll be a link in the chat and / description. You guys should go get it, enjoy it, talk about it, and we'll probably be discussing this plenty in the future. So it's a nice amount of time. I think it was not too long. I think probably it could have been a little bit shorter even and still kept some of the flow going. But ultimately, I think they made a lot of really great decisions. I still compliment them overall. The soundtrack was outstanding. The visual design was outstanding. The writing, you know, it was really good. But then they kind of dropped the ball a little bit towards the end. But, you know, ultimately, still better than most. The majority of horror games I play are like, we're not even going to talk about the writing. It's just sort of just cartoonish a lot of the time. This one, at least, there was a little bit of meat to grab onto. And it did paint... It painted a world, if you'll pardon the expression, with some okay characters in it, so... However brief we got to meet and interact with them. Anyway, that's going to be it, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you being here. As always, the support in general is fantastic, and I'm glad to have you guys. And I will see you for the next thing.